We're here with Stephen Derrick, costume designer with the D Midas Associates. Stephen, welcome to CultureShare.
Thank you.
Stephen, how did you first get into designing costumes?
Let's say by accident. It happened after George Bailey died. I was into handicraft, and one day his younger brother came to me and asked me, what about designing a band for him? This is in 1972. So it was sort of an accident, and from there everything fall into place.
Okay, so it's 1972. That means you're coming up on your 20th anniversary of designing costumes.
This is true.
That's good. All right. What is the most unusual costume that you've ever designed? Or the most detailed?
One of the most detailed costume I ever did was Mother Creation. This was way back in about 1985, 86. And our Queen of Carnival competition in Trinidad.
Okay.
We played from Lumeria to Atlantis, right, which was two sunken continents. So it was, I read about it and put it together. It wasn't a concept that I could have, look at a picture and try to place it into costume form. It was just reading, put it in your mind and put it down on paper and try to put it into reality where the why is concerned.
Okay. And what is your inspiration for a lot of your costumes?
My inspiration for costume comes from anything. Sometimes I may watch another TV program, I might take something from there. I may be just walking through the garden and see something, something pops across your mind and like that, So designing costumes especially, you see, you could take any and everything and put it into form.
Okay.
Right? You don't really have to, have to like watch at anything in particular. Right? Okay. Depending on the type of costume that you're going after. If you're going after historical costumes, then you have to go down to the books. If it's fantasy, you use your mind, use your imagination. Just let it flow.
Okay. All right. How long does it take to put a costume together from start to finish? It seems there's a tremendous amount of wires and feathers and beads and sequins, etc. A lot of materials from start to finish. About how long does it take to put one together?
And in my case, it can take anything like a week, 2 weeks. Because you see, I have an advantage on most designers, whereas I do my own designing, also wire bending, decorating, what have you. So in my case, it could take me from a week to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Sometimes it may take a little more, a little less. It depends on the idea.
Oh, okay. All right. And do you design for other countries? You design for several countries, I understand.
Yes, from Guyana in South America to as far as Toronto, Canada.
Oh, okay. And what shows have your costumes been featured in those countries? Mostly the carnivals?
Yeah, mostly carnivals. Like, take for instance, we start with our carnival in Trinidad in February. We have Jamaica Carnival, the carnival in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. From there we have like Labor Day, Boston Carnival, Caribana, Montreal Carnival, Mashamani in Guyana, and what have you. And hopefully next year we'd be in San Francisco for their carnival. So anywhere there's carnival, we always like to participate. It's a way and means for us to spread our culture.
Okay, and speaking of culture, I noticed a lot of the costumes seem to be Indian influenced, some are African. What determines which costumes are going to go in which carnivals, or is it just a mix that you usually provide for each carnival?
Sometimes it depends on the theme of the particular carnival. So like in St. Thomas, every year they put out a theme, and the designers are asked to design something according to the theme of their carnival. In Trinidad, we don't follow any particular theme.
Okay.
Each designer comes up with his own theme and we work from there. So one year it might be Indians, one year it might be Africans, what have you. It all depends on the mood of the people and the mood of the designer.
Okay, all right. Are the costumes heavy? I mean, I've witnessed costumes going down Eastern Parkway here in New York, and some of them are several feet high or several feet wide. Is it difficult to carry these costumes? Are they on wheels? How light are they, or how heavy are they?
Well, in my case, I don't believe in costumes and wheels.
Okay.
I believe if you're playing a mass costume as such, if you're making a costume, the costume and the person must be one.
Okay.
Right? You must try to have that marriage. Most of the time I feel wheels take away. It tends to take away from the costume, from the portrayal. I believe in whatever you make, you carry.
Okay.
Right? There's enough materials and technology in the world today, so you could design a costume to make it as light as possible.
Okay.
It isn't like a long time where we had to use steel and what have you. Now you have fiberglass, aluminum, cane, and these things.
So you have lighter materials.
Yeah, lighter material. You're supposed to produce lighter costumes.
Oh, okay.
And the lighter the costume is, the longer the individual will keep it on.
Oh, okay.
Then you could go as big as you want, as wide as you want, but still keep the weight down to minimum.
Okay, because they usually have a long way to go with those costumes too. Okay. You mentioned earlier George Bailey, one of the people working with you. Is that your partner? Is that someone that you design with?
No, he was the guy who was responsible for me into designing.
Okay.
I had 3 of the best teachers in Carnival in Trinidad, and anytime you tell anybody in Trinidad you came from the Bailey School, from that they know you came from the best, because when you have men like George Bailey as a designer, Albert Bailey, Alvin Bailey, one is a decorator, one is a wire bender, and combine the 3 of them together, you had the best teachers in Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're working with the best then.
Well, George is dead, so it's just Albert is in Trinidad, Alvin lives in Washington.
Okay.
So it's just Albert now that is trying to hold on. But we came from the Bailey regime, and now we're on our own. We produce our own band in Trinidad.
Thank you for being on CultureShare and spending your time with us. This is Stephen Derrick, costume designer from Trinidad, and he's with D. Midas Associates, and we thank him. Thank you.
Thank you.